up, YouTube? It's Ron here representing Photonic Visuals. Some craziness happened a couple days ago on Destiny. I was actually able to beat the raid, the Vault of Glass, for the first time. It was such an amazing feeling just to finish it. It's actually one of the greatest things Bungie has ever made. I'm a big Bungie fan. Played all the Halo, well, up to Halo 3 on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox, the original Xbox. And I was able to capture the game footage, and I wanted to be able to share with you guys some tips and possibly some strategy that can actually help you get through the Vault of Glass if you haven't gone through it yet. So starting off the bat, look for a fire team that you are comfortable playing with. In this fire team that I was actually with, there's about, I actually don't know any of them personally. I've all met them online. Played with about 4 of them before. 2 of them were brought in by other people just so we can have a complete fire team. And one of the reasons why I say play with people you're comfortable with, because understand the Vault of Glass isn't easy. You're going to be dying. It's going to get frustrating at points, and you want to be able to play with people who can keep it fun. Doesn't matter what's happening. And what you need to do to prepare for the Vault of Glass before you can even come in, you have to be at least level 26. And one of the things that I would also suggest is work on some legendary exotic guns if you have them, or work on getting them if you don't. And when you do have them, is get them to as high damage output as possible. Make sure before you go into the raid, buy as many heavy synthesis, special ammo synthesis, and primary synthesis that you need, because there are going to be points where you won't be able to get those ammo drops because it's too dangerous and you need some heavy against the bosses. And as you can see in the video right here, we're actually just pretty much talking amongst ourselves, splitting us into teams. And the one strategy that we found to do the vault doors right away was to take the plates at the same time. So you saw us come clear all the enemies, didn't touch any of the plates until we agreed who was going to be with who. And one of the tips that I'm going to be sharing is, once you have the plate all white and you actually have control over it, you don't need to stand inside the plate. That's one of the mistakes I've seen with a lot of players that I've tried to run the raid with prior to the winning run. And this particular run, we were able to open the vault door on the first try right away. And probably within about 5 minutes. So we split up into teams. We had our guns ready. We were all waiting for our supers to charge. Had our heavy full. Got everything in preparation for making sure these Minotaur-like enemies, which is the Praetorians with the yellow health, level 26, they don't get to touch the plates. The moment they touch the plates, the spire that's being built that will open the vault door will start going backwards. So as soon as everyone was around the plates, we split everyone into 3 groups of 2s. We claimed the plate, and one of the most important things, especially going into the Vault of Glass, is communication. And the reason why I say this is because if you're playing with people who are not going to call out the enemies that you see, like these people were calling out, we split them up into 3 parts, low, middle, and high. We call that spawn right there is the middle high spawn, Praetorians in the middle high spawn. So just in case if that Praetorian ends up going towards mid, the people at mid know. And if it comes towards high, then our group at high knows. And we see that the mobs are starting to form, so that means there's a chance of the Praetorian spawning behind us or spawning in front of us again. So because it wasn't in the mobs behind us, it was in front of us, I just launched at it right away. As you can see, I have Galahorn. I'm a level 29 for this raid. You're seeing my 1 rocket do a lot of damage. And that's one of the things that you'll notice right away too. If you attempt the raid at level 26, you're going to see that you are going to have a lot of trouble just because the damage that you're dealing is equal to the level of the raid. If you're level 27, you're now having a defense buff and an attack buff that it'll actually help you just a little bit more, get more damage out and be able to take a little more hits. And it is important. I was able to play with this team who was, all our minimum level was 27. I was 29. We had a couple 28s, so we were able to come in and deal damage. And that's one of the things that I could really tell you is even if you not able to beat the raid right away, even just attempting to go in will help you gain experience, right? There is sites that we've used just to pull up people. That's how I found a couple of my friends on my PSN now. Is DestinyLFG.net, and what that stands for is looking for game or looking for group, and it's actually a genius site. They're able to set up the matchmaking that Bungie didn't. And I totally understand why there is no matchmaking for the raid. You don't want to play with people who are just going to quit on you, and you want to be able to at least feel out the players before you go all the way with them. And this footage that you're seeing right here, we actually split it into two parts. We were able to get to the final boss, and then we saved the last bit of the final boss for our second run. So, as you can see right there, we were able to open the vault door on our very first try. And as soon as you go in, there is a chest. Just head all the way to the right, get ready for some raid gear, and it is random. You have a chance of getting Ascendant Energies, Ascendant Shards, Strange Coins, Motes of Light, exotic gear, and legendary raid gear. And one of the things I'm going to actually share with you, I'm going to be sharing it in the next part, is raid gear is the only gear that's legendary that can get you to level 30. And a fun fact, if you actually tried to go here during the patrol mission, and I actually helped some people get into the Vault of Glass, this doorway here right in front of the chest is actually sealed off. It's a solid door. You can't walk there. And if you try coming back, it's actually going to be at a solid state. You won't be able to get out of the Vault of Glass either. You're going to have to leave orbit. So here we go. We open the chest, and there you go. I got some Ascendant Energies.